Eu vou conversar com essa simpatia que é a cantora e compositora DiFranco. Come here, baby. DiFranco, tá aqui o CD. DiFranco, Evolve. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Okay. Doing a striptease with your album. Beautiful, as a matter of fact. Here, let me show you. So, Annie, I know it's your first time in Brazil.
First time. Yes.
And you've been to Salvador already.
Yes, wow, is exactly what I think.
Yeah, how long have you stayed there?
Just 2 days in Salvador.
And then you came to São Paulo.
And then São Paulo.
Don't you think you're too young to be traveling alone without your father and your mother?
That's why I brought my entourage. I have good friends with me, so.
And you have a lot of fans in universities.
Yeah, college students.
And how's your life over there? How much time do you spend traveling around the States?
Most of it. I spend most of my time traveling, but I love to travel, so I feel lucky.
You do I think that's fantastic to always use music as a way of protesting, of protest.
Yeah.
It was something that, I don't know, a lot of the great ones used to do, and then for a time it wasn't quite strong.
Yeah.
You know, like Bob Dylan and many others.
Yes, I think.
Leonard Cohen.
I think especially now in the United States, we are taught to think of ourselves as consumers of things instead of citizens, you know? So,
right.
Yeah, there's not enough political thought being expressed.
Do you think that's because the Republicans are in power?
Yeah. Well,
you can say Republican on television, no problem.
It's not one of the 7 dirtiest words. Oh, yeah. Well, yes, the Republicans and the corporations that they own, you know, they control our TV, completely, you know, our information and so much of our music and food. And so it's very hard to even find a culture outside of that corporate control.
I see. What do you think about Schwarzenegger being governor of a big state like California?
Oh, I think
the governor.
Yeah, right. When he said I'll be back, we didn't know what he meant by that.
Now you know.
But now he's back. Boy, it's crazy. It's crazy.
But it's funny because from outside, you always have an impression that California was always the state of freedom, of you know.
Yeah,
all the hippie movement and everything, and then twice Ronald Reagan for once, and now
exactly.
Arnold.
There are many different types of people in California. You know, you have the hippies, and then you have these big land-owning, you know, Republicans who have a lot of Mexican people come up and do all the farm work there in California and get paid very little money and have no rights. They are not, you know, they have no citizenship, and so it's you know, both extremes.
I see. Yeah. You come from New York.
New York.
You're born in New York.
In Buffalo, New York, which is a smaller city in New York State.
Okay, and you're supporting a candidate now?
Well, yeah. There's a fella named Dennis Kucinich who's running for presidency in America, and he's, I believe, a very good man, which I have never seen in American politics. You know, I've met a few candidates in my day, in my short time. And
how old are you, 16, 17?
33 now.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, 33. But Dennis, you know, Dennis is, I believe him when he speaks, and he speaks about things like peace and about, you know, the fact that the world's people, our will is for peace, you know, is for cooperation, and it is the government, certainly in America, that is preventing this from happening. And We must stop the governments from keeping people apart.
But do you think if you make a general, how do you say that, a poll to see if the American people will support or does support that kind of war, do you think the great majority won't be in favor of it?
Well, I think that there are more people in the United States who are against it than we know.
Okay, let me put it in another way.
Yeah.
Do you think Bush stand a good chance for re-election?
No.
No?
I have to say no. That's how I get up in the morning. That's what I have to be hopeful.
But that's not wishful thinking?
No, I don't think so. I think people are finally learning some things about the lies that he has told, and they are, the economy has been getting worse and worse, and this unjust war, I think people are slowly becoming very angry at George Bush. So
But don't you think for a president it's better to be a bad liar than a good one?
Well, he's bad at everything he does, so it is very consistent.
There's a lady laughing over there. She's a Democrat.
That's right.
She's a liberal.
She's a radical.
Annie, and your candidate, how is he on the polls?
Well, not as high as I hope, and it has a lot to do with the media, because the media in America, and the corporations that dictate what, people can say, they are supporting the more moderate candidate, and it's almost as though they decide for American people what to think. So we have to combat this, but meanwhile there is a slowly an energy building of progressive people who are supporting him.
And how you treat your instrument when you play? Well, softly or
sometimes
like some French treat their women, the apache. How is it?
Well, I think I probably beat my guitars up more than...
Give us a little demonstration.
Sure. Butter melts out of habit. The toast isn't even warm. Waitress and the man in the plaid shirt play out a scene they played so many times before. And I'm watching the sons come home in the morning from a bar on the east side of town, and the coffee is just water dressed in brown.
Great. What's that on your hands, and the fingers?
Tape.
Nails?
Tape. Yeah. Well, I have these fake nails on this one hand.
Oh, they're fake nails.
Picking. But then sometimes...
So the tape is to hold the...
Hold them, and also sometimes I play hard, and the other day I had the distinct pleasure of playing with Lenini in Salvador. Yes.
Fantastic guy, and a great musician and a great guy.
Exactly.
Also.
And so I was so excited to see him and play with him that I made myself all bloody in rehearsal.
Wow.
So this is some, also...
Protection, some form of protection. Yeah, you're right. You study art, so the albums, the cover of your albums are made by you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They're great. Look at that. Beautiful.
Well,
here there is another. Let me take it out. You love butterflies, right?
Moths, yes.
Moths.
They come at night, the night butterflies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2 butterflies tattooed on my arm.
Do you?
But not moths.
Let's see it.
I can't.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to undress in front of you.
We can compare tattoos.
Yeah, well, okay, but you would immediately fall in love with me, and so I can't. But you have tattoos too?
Well, a couple.
Let me see, you have one there?
Well, yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. How long are you staying in Brazil?
Oh, I wish longer. Just a week. Just another week, yeah.
And you're doing you're doing shows here, or just you came just for the album?
I did one show. I played at the Mercado Cultural Festival in Salvador.
Right.
Beautiful festival.
How was it? Beautiful.
Oh, everyone was so nice, and it was run so professionally.
And
Very impressive.
We can all buy your CD here now?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
So this is
mine. Yeah,
Great.
you have the only one.
Yeah, my musicians are looking envious, but it's mine. It's mine. Okay. When did you start playing?
Oh,
How old were you when you started?
Nine or
playing
so.
and composing?
Maybe a few years later for writing songs, 14 or... Yeah.
Where do you live now?
Well, I still live in Buffalo.
You still live in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Buffalo girl.
Yeah, a Buffalo girl. It's not a very well-known place. Just a little city.
Yeah, but that's nice.
Yeah.
And you keep traveling. How many places have you been? How many countries have you visited already?
Mostly I tour in Europe and maybe Australia, Japan a few times, and North America. So
you've been in Australia?
Much of the world I haven't seen. Yeah, Australia.
You know that Bira, our bass player, he comes from his great-great-grandfather was Aborigine. How do you say Aborigine, right? And so we went to Australia for the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you know that there is a tradition that whenever a descendant from Aborigines go to Australia, they have to do a very special ritual. And so Bira had to do this special ritual, which is very beautiful if you care to see it on our screen. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Look at the sound. Tá bom, villain, chega. Enough. It's the only boomerang that... The only boomerang that never came back. It's the only threw away. How many people travel with you?
Oh, there are about 8 of us or so.
That's nice.
I know, it takes a lot of people just to play a few folk songs. I don't know.
Don't be so modest. Come on. Come on. Look like a politician when you say that.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, but it seems like it would be simple, but...
Yeah, sure. Annie DiFranco, thank you very much. You're going to play for us now. And thank you very much for being in the show. Welcome to the show. And especially welcome to Brazil.
Oh,
Give us a kiss. And thank you. E daqui a pouco a gente volta. Annie.